Namaste, it's the Spiritual Daywalker, hashtag Schrodinger's cards, with your tarot card reading for the next new moon phase from 28th of July until 12th of August. This new moon is in Leo, so also Leo season, Cancer, brace yourself, right? You're a water sign and you're represented by the moon, or the moon is represented by Cancer, whatever the fuck ever. But I know you got a thing for Leos. I know you got a thing for this fire energy that is always trying to motivate people to get active, and you're like, fuck no, I want to sit here and be sensitive all the time. Well, that's kind of what you are with this new moon, right? I know I am a Cancer. I try not to let it bleed too much into the reading, but I feel like this new moon is bringing up some stuff that you've dealt with, that I draw from my own experience. But then again, it is also empowering you to own who you are and own what you want to do with that, right? So also, you taking on the Leo energy is like, if you translate it into Cancer-ish, it's like, okay, being myself, how do I rally people around that? Well, it's to find people that are open to your emotionality, able to deal with that, not exactly frightened by it, but really like thankful for your sensitivity and openness, right? And there are those people out there, Cancer, right? No shit. Definitely is. Definitely is. That being said, I don't do love readings. If love comes up in a reading that is on you because you're projecting it. Life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, hence the name Schrodinger's cards, right? So these are pretty pictures that basically show the archetypical patterns of reality, but how you want to experience that energy is totally up to fucking you. Also, I'm sorry that I missed the full moon reading in Capricorn. I was kind of in that Capricorn energy trying to make the shit happen. And I did. Check out daywalker-bali.com. That is my new website, daywalker-bali.com. There I will explain also the tarot deck that I'm going to invent, the new framework that is going to replace the Rider-Waite. So watch out for that. I'm very much trying to make shit happen here and also believe in my own purpose. And that is very much what is coming up with that new moon. People confronting you with fire energy and pragmatic takes on reality, and you're like, no, fuck no. And if there's anger that you need to protect yourself from that, that is, well, maybe not the way of the Buddha, but it's very much valuable, right? So protect yourself, Cancer, and stay true to yourself. This is what it's all about, and this is what this reading is going to be about. There's going to be a DNA spread. The DNA spread is of my own invention, basically an altered tree of life spread. It's also based on the same base as the tarot framework that I am inventing. So this is going to be the spirit axis, and then the energies balancing around it. Let's see. Overall, there is a tower. So it feels like life is pushing you into a certain direction. It can feel a little off, like it can feel fucking stressful. You're like, holy shit, this is breaking down. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Believe, right? Trust. Trust in your own capability of making it through this. The tower can also be, it doesn't have to be a negative card, right? It doesn't have to foreshadow something. This is in the spot of the zero of Keter, of the mind, or rather the spirit, right? So this is your soul that is going through a major transformation energetically, right? So it kind of signifies that there is an energetic shift within you that is going to make you more capable of feeling into the mindsets that you already entertain, right? But now you're learning how to really embrace them. That is what the tower in that very spot is kind of telling me. Let's see how this is going to be confirmed in the reading. In the spot of the 9 in the middle, how this translates is the Father of Swords in reverse. That is interesting. So, yeah, well, could be could be that it's a little self-doubt in your own capabilities, like, am I really on the right path, yada yada yada. But also a little letting go of control. It's like, okay, maybe universe wants me to do this or go this way and that way, right? Maybe I have to just be open to things happening and let go a little of that strategizing control. So that Father of Swords in reverse, it's representing a lot. It can also mean that you're changing belief systems that you've dragged along for very long fucking time, because that father actually could be a father figure, or well, some old mindsets, even karmic karmic debt or generational karma, in a sense, that you're clearing here, right? So we'll have to see what that Father of Swords in particular means. In this very spot, it can mean everything, because it's a central spot. It's the central spot of the reading, how this then becomes the manifestation, which we're pulling now, which is a Two of Cups in reverse. So if you're manifesting, giving up a commitment that you put love in, giving up, that is freaking interesting. And it could be related to that Tower. Either something is shifting within you that then renders you incompatible with that commitment or that person right here. Because the Two of Cups is a card of romance, right? But it's also just emotionality taken to the next level, right? Picking a direction on how you want to feel. So that's a good thing. Every card in tarot is good, even if it's in reverse. Or reversal just means that you're like moving through that energy, moving out of that energy. It could even mean that in that context, something within you shifting, so you finally accept a love that was lost in the past, and you're finally moving out of that energy. My stomach is rebelling a little, so probably there's something different to it. It may be more that you're rendering incompatible. By changing within, you're rendering incompatible for a way of love that you chose to entertain. If you're, for example, especially emotionally nurturing to people, and you realize some are taking advantage of that without even knowing, some are not acknowledging your sensitivity, you're drawing a line in the sand. It's like that Father of Swords deal, like, okay, I hate to do this, but fuck you, right? Could also be it. There's a lot in here, and since I'm a Cancer, I have a lot of information how this energy plays out right now. I have to be kind of careful to not confront you with a load of bullshit that is not exactly pinpointing it. But this Two of Cups in reverse, it not concerns me, but there's a question mark in my head. It's like, okay, why let go of love? Because that's manifesting, that's something you're manifesting through this Tower, is not accepting some form of commitment or letting go of that commitment, which can very well be a beautiful thing, depending on how you play that Father of Swords right here. Let's see how the energies balance around so we can have a little more clarification about it. The Fool in reverse is the number one. That is like, yeah, you're trying to make something happen, something very fucking new. Like, the Fool is not an ace, right? It is beginning the entire fucking series. The Fool is the very first card in the tarot. So, struggling with that Fool energy, or not even struggling, it's like you are in that Fool. You're starting a new thing, starting anew, and either it is even bigger than you thought, and you're still like, yeah, you know, we're gonna try it differently this time. But what you don't realize is you're trying something entirely new, and it's gonna blow up in a way that you couldn't expect it to. That's why it's tough for you to grasp how entirely different this new life phase will be, right? Or you already made that decision, you're very well aware of how big this change is gonna be, and you're still like, okay, when does it fucking finally start? Like, what do I have to put in? Like, what? Yeah, well, there's something shifting within you to make that happen. That's why you're still waiting on it. right? So the tower within you is making it energetically available to manifest that new chapter in your life, which you were struggling with before, because you thought about it, but you still like didn't exactly believe in it, and weren't exactly manifesting from emotion, but from your mind. You're a Cancer though, you need that emotion to work for you. And the Fool is balanced by the Judgment, which is very interesting. Somehow that double X, that 20 pops out. So, the 20, it's a 2, right? It's about balance. It's a 2 in the spot of a 2. It is you coming to terms with reality, right? Making a decision about reality, and setting yourself free of stuff, basically making a judgment call. For example, with me, to be open, I'm in an interesting spot right now where the smartest thing I could do is fall back into making advertising. And maybe there's some things I gotta be open to, but they're gonna present themselves in a different way. So not exactly looking for clients, but rather clients popping up in my reality, and I'll be like, yeah, I could do that, you know, to keep me afloat until this entire tarot intuitive business finally starts, you know, really getting traction, right? That is that Fool for me. Whatever it is for you, you have to make some judgment calls that, well, yeah, be careful that they're the right ones, right? It seems like the tower within you, that tower moment, you shifting energetically from within, gives you the power to set yourself free from bullshit, so you can finally get that Fool going. And that Judgment very much is also internally. It is like, no, I'm not falling back into old patterns. No, I'm not going to play it safe this time. I'm really going to believe that I'm able to manifest this. I'm able to move into that new chapter. It's going to happen, right? And that is that Judgment with the tower, I believe, is like something energetically shifting within you, so you'll be able to make a move and to really set yourself free from those old belief systems, from those old ways of thinking right here. Let's see. Yeah, I just thought about that card, and it's the it's the Justice. In the middle of the 1 and the 2, balancing in the spot of the 3 of the inside of Spirit, there is that Justice card, which is karma. Didn't I speak about generational karma you're clearing out right now? Like old belief systems that kept you trapped into manifesting lessons in your life over and over, and now you're kind of realizing if you fall back into old patterns, you're gonna manifest old shit, and that's not gonna happen anymore, because you're already in the Fool energy. You already kind of made the decision with that Judgment, right? And Justice, well, you know, you get out what you put in. Wherever you focus your energy on, that's what's going to grow. So now you're finally capable to project that. You realize you have to take a risk, take a stand. Just like, you know, stand for what you believe in. That is very much it. And something within you shifted in, like, energetically, like the tower in the spot of the 0. That is some download coming in where you're like, something within you is building up, and you're finally like, fuck no, I don't need this anymore, right? I don't need this anger anymore to protect me. I don't want to fall back into playing it safe. I don't want to yada 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 yada. I don't want someone to patronize me or pity me for how sensitive I am. As a matter of fact, I love how sensitive I am. And you know what? I'm gonna put more energy into that, right? Into being myself. And that is like, hey, your top row, the spiritual insight you're getting right now is all major arcana. Like your soul is making a pivot right now. Really, fuck. You've been telling yourself all the right things for so long, And it feels like it's finally rooted within your deepest self, so you can project it outward, because you realize, I got to make a decision about what I want to focus my energy on to balance this out, right? To clear that fucking karma that I've been dragging around with me all my life, thinking that, yeah, I'm just overly sensitive or overly emotional. It's like, no, you're proud of being a Cancer. You're proud of seeing through people, seeing their bullshit, and you're not gonna put up with their bullshit. Someone telling you to play it safe or to be pragmatic about it, you're gonna realize it's coming from their fear, from their lack of faith. You have that faith now. You have it. You made that decision. So beautiful. In the spot of the 4, another major arcana. It's the Death card. I feel like the Scorpio was strong in this. You probably have a lot of Scorpios in your reality right now, where you can just very consciously bounce emotions and concepts of ideas that are linked to the emotional and to the internal. So that could be it, like a Scorpio assisting with the transformation, or many Scorpios assisting with the transformation. I know you love Scorpios. I'm a Cancer myself. It's like, I love them. They go deep, right? But this very much is a transformation. Some shit has to go. And there's the 6 of Wands in reverse. This is so funny, because the 6 of Wands, just like, I'm gonna show you. There's a Judgment, which is a dove rising above shit. And there's a 6 of Wands, which is a butterfly rising above shit, right? So you're very much setting yourself free. However, here the energy with the 6 of Wands in reverse is a little delayed, so you take in whatever it is you're working on to the next level, somehow linked to you letting go of, or letting a transformation happen, and letting go of some belief systems that are hindering you, right? You kind of realize that. You kind of make that decision right now. Let's see in the final row, when it goes down into manifestation, maybe that also clears up the middle row, like the abyss where you're going through right now. In the spot of the 7, there's the Son of Wands. Ooh, passion waking up. You believing in yourself, being all fucking attractive, right? And attracting people that find you attractive. Son of Wands, very nice. He's looking to the outside though. Let's see what he's not looking at. A 7 of Cups, but it's in reverse. So the 7 of Cups is like, stop bullshitting yourself about your feelings. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, right? So also it's a sense of identity, because the 7 is about a sense of identity, which can mean the self or the ego. Since that 7 is in reverse, it's probably about the self, because it's very fucking empowering what's going on in the upper realms right here. So in manifestation, this is you just, you know, if you want to be oversharing, you just be oversharing. It's like, right, you're talking to people and you'll be like, back in the day you probably would have bitten your tongue, right, bitten your lip about some stuff. You're not doing that anymore. You're just like, okay, this is what I feel, and actually this is what I would want to hear in that situation, so I'm telling you my emotion, exactly how I would want to be treated, and you either like it or not, but I'm not fucking around anymore, right? So this is a sense of identity about your emotionality, right? And it really depends on the way you play it. If you manage that transition well in the spirit realms, like if you're really conscious about what is happening within you, that your soul is going through a major transformation, and you get out what you put in and all that stuff, right? Then that Son of Wands is a very beautiful card for you, because you're drawing a lot from being honest to yourself, right? And you're getting that attractivity from being honest to yourself, right? If you're kind of overwhelmed emotionally by what is going on within you, and you're clinging to old patterns, that is when this row here becomes a different meaning, gets a different meaning, in the sense that the Son of Wands being all pretentious, like, yeah, I got this, not looking at what he's truly feeling about the situation, right? So it can be either or, depending on how consciously aware you're moving through that soul shift that you're in right now. Let's see what, yeah, there's a Three of Swords in reverse, which is cool, which is you moving out of the energy of feeling betrayed, which I don't exactly agree always with the way that the swords are interpreted, because I feel like the swords are way more beautiful than tarot makes them out to be. So the Three of Swords, feeling betrayed, yeah, well, it is a strong sense about some mindset that you're having, right? And since it's in reverse, you're either struggling or flipping it. It's like working around it, and that is very interesting, especially since you're moving into the Two of Cups in reverse in manifestation. So, and the Son of Wands is not exactly looking at all this, overthinking about pain. Maybe because he's moving away from it. Maybe because he's like, fuck, I don't need to feel guilty. I don't need to feel patronized. If I feel what I feel and I'm just gonna go for it and tell people and go for my idea, right? And my idea of self, that is a beautiful thing. Maybe I'm inclined to bullshit myself with this, because, you know, I am a Cancerian. Because that row right here, with that Son of Wands, looking away from this internal bullshit that is going on right here. That is very interesting, especially when it then leads to a lost love. So I'd advise to be true to yourself, right? Very fucking true to yourself on how you feel, how you want to feel. I do get the sense, since this is in a different, like the Three of Swords has a different meaning because it's in the spirit axis. So this is rather you moving out of the sense of being betrayed or holding on to some very strong belief that basically the belief that you're incapable, right? The belief that you're oversensitive, the belief that you are worth nothing in this society, right? Which is bullshit. That's just to emphasize that. It's bullshit. We need more vulnerable people in this society, more people that are just openly emotional, right? They're not overly emotional, but openly, right? Where you're just like, come on guys, like I'm feeling it like this and that, and I'm not going to be like shamed into feeling bad about this, like bad for feeling, right? You're a sensitive person, and you have to own this. You really have to fucking own this, right? And that Six of Wands in reverse, with the Father of Swords in reverse, and the Death, yeah, well, the moment you make the decision on the inside on how you want to be, that's probably where you have to realize you're moving away from some people that cannot deal with this. You're kind of making a natural selection right here, and you're like, yeah, well, okay, it's okay, I got this. Fair enough. So I see you moving away from mindsets into something that some people would call like oversensitive or stupid or whatever. But then again, these are exactly the people that you're moving away from. And not, I don't have an eight of cups here where you're like moving away from something that hurts you. No, it basically feels that you're rendering incompatible for certain types of people, right? So the moment you're like, no, I'm not going to play it safe, I'm just going to fucking go for it and be who I want to be and who I feel like I have to be because I can't deal with it any other way, that's when you're rendering incompatible with a certain type, or like a certain group of people that are very pragmatic and looking for security and whatever, right? So that could be very much it, where you're like a little heartbroken actually, that some people will not get it, right? And that some doors will close, but that's when you open other doors, right? That is very freaking interesting. Very, very freaking interesting. So the death is very much looking at this Father of Swords in the middle here. Like that, the death is looking, I mean, like that's the dead crow right here. And it's looking toward that Father of Swords in the middle. Having to move away from things you were passionate about or people you wanted to make listen, right? You wanted to make them listen, they're not gonna. And sometimes it's tough, especially if like people that you love come with things like with advice that you don't resonate with, and you doubt yourself, or you doubted yourself in the past in that situation, and you're not going to anymore. Like your soul game is totally fucking strong here. Like this upper thing, right? The Keta Chokma Bina, to speak in Sephirot, in Kabbalistic terms, they're fucking strong. Also the Da'at is which with me is the 3, not the 4. It's very fucking strong. These are all major arcanas, like sending you into a different direction, and you're just about to really enter into that new beginning, like getting out of the Fool, or working through that Fool energy, still feeling like a fool in a sense, right? But not anymore. You're getting that energetic shove from within, where you're like, fuck that, I'm not gonna play it safe, I'm just going for it. So this will render you incompatible with a certain type of people, but your pride is worth more, right? And that's when you will find people you can connect with. That is very freaking interesting. I have to realize this is not exactly my reading. Yeah, well, I am a Cancer, so it kind of is. This 2 of Cups in reverse, it kind of bugs me. It kind of bugs me. But it doesn't have to be a person, right? So I'm not telling you that your relationship is going to end, or whatever, or that yada yada yada. This is not it. This is really not it. It's rather a commitment that you're ending. And it's not a major arcana commitment. It is like every commitment you made that is not aligned with this soul game right here, because that's fucking strong. That's like, that is some Kobe Bryant game right here. That is amazing. That everything in your reality that is not aligned with that, you're looking away from. You're moving away from it with that Son of Wands. And I do believe that the Son of Wands, it could also be a person that is sharing that with you. That is just like, yeah, fuck them. Let's go right into the sunset together, right? So this 2 of Cups rather means commitment and you giving yourself over to something than an actual relationship. Maybe for you it means a relationship, could be, right? That you're like, I don't want to feel patronized anymore by you, so sorry, not sorry. If that's so for you, then the reading is quite clear in the end, right here. Because then it's about not shitting yourself emotionally anymore, moving out of the feeling of heartbreak or constant dissatisfaction, like, and not exactly dissatisfaction. I mean, the 3 of Swords, it's a mind energy, right? And it's being stuck on a certain belief system. sometimes. Just like an 8 of Swords maybe sometimes is, yada yada. With the 3 of Swords, it is one belief that is very fucking strong, that you're kind of holding on to. For me, often is that it's the idea of having to feel a certain way. So if you're like, yeah, for example, if you feel like if you've been cheated on, for example, and there's something within you that says, actually, you know what, it didn't feel right the entire time, like I actually cannot blame them. But then your mind goes, but they've cheated on you, you're supposed to be angry right now. You're actually not angry because you understand the situation, but your mind is telling you you should be. That is that 3 of Swords energy, right? Where you think you have to feel a certain way, and the way out of this is the 7 of Cups right next to it, right? Which is funny that it's actually right next to it, because the 7 of Cups is telling you to face the true emotion within you, and that is totally counteracting the 3 of Swords energy, whether they are next to each other or not. That's what the energy is saying. So that is very interesting. You being honest to what you truly feel is going to take you out of that idea that life is constantly trying to fuck you over, and you actually feel that once you're in your passion, in your Son of Wands energy, going for shit you really want, you're going to move away from shit you don't want, with like this 2 of Cups in reverse, right? Doesn't have to be a person. Most likely it's a commitment. Most likely it's the idea of having to do things a certain way, or having to be a certain way. You're a Cancer. You're sensitive. You want to share. You want to home. You don't want to play games like that. You just want people to be open and honest, and you see through people's bullshit, right? Trust that. That's your fucking superpower. Trust that. If it feels off to you, there's something off. Always, right? That's what you're learning to trust here also. Even though it really fucking bugs me that the Son of Wands is looking away from that. Maybe it's someone else that's not exactly acknowledging your emotions, because it very much feels like you are with those major arcanas up there. So how this manifests is kind of confusing for me. I got to really look out for it in my own reality, see how this plays out. But as an advice, I'm just like, let it happen, right? Let it happen. Let things move away from you if they're not meant for you. And this means mindsets as well as career paths, people, everything that is not resonating with you anymore. You have no obligation to God but to honor yourself and your own divinity. You have no obligation whatsoever to anyone except owning your own emotions, being honorable with them, and that means being open. And yeah, you're going with the flow here. You're really going with the flow here, and you're moving out of that bullshitting yourself about stuff. That's really cool. That can also mean letting go of someone or something that you put some love into. But it can also mean struggling with self-love, right? That you still have to, really come to terms with your own sensitivity as a superpower. But it definitely, this entire reading means transformation and moving away from shit that is not real, that is not true emotionally, that is not your own truth. And that is very freaking powerful. So it seems like you're going through a lot of changes, especially internally, and then kind of not looking at what's ever in your reality, or moving away from those manifestations in your reality. Maybe they're even drawn from you, right? Maybe even just people or situations just leave you, and you're like, oh, okay, didn't exactly want this to happen, but I'm going to work with it, right? And it's probably for the better, right? For you to have some space to own your own reality. Cancer. I mean, that's a confusing reading when it comes to manifestation. Kind of sorry for that, but it very much seems like you're more going with the flow, accepting the transformation, and letting go of, a lot of false emotion and sense of emotion, thoughts about feelings. That is actually a very beautiful thing. There is this Son of Wands, super pivotal for you. Very fucking interesting. Very fucking interesting. Because it's also bookending that Six of Wands right here. Because the Fool in reverse into the Six of Wands and reverse into the Son of Wands. So that's when you're actually finally moving, right? That's when you're finally moving, when you're letting go of the shit. And the Judgment is going into death, is going into Seven of Cups in reverse. So you're making that judgment call to go with this transition, right? And just let it transform you and your reality. And that is moving you out of self-deception about how you truly feel about things. So it is a beautiful transformation. Like, I don't see you struggling with it. No, I see you very much empowered about who you want to be. It can be a little defensive, right? It can, like, some passive aggressive shit coming up. You're like, no, fuck no, I don't want this anymore, right? That is you shielding yourself, which is actually a beautiful thing. As long as you come back into balance with yourself and realize what you are protecting there and why you're so eager to protect it, right? That is very beautiful. So that's the difference of the Father of Swords being either too controlling or you letting go of a mindset truly and fully, right? That is the key question. How do you play that Father of Swords, right? Yeah, it's a beautiful transformation and you got a strong soul game. Really, fuck. Cancer, if that resonated with you, drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment, right? I'm always looking for feedback. And stay tuned for the tarot deck and like the framework I'm going to publish on my website, daywalker-bali.com. Follow Instagram, TikTok. I'm going to pick up the TikTok game also. And thank you so much. Please let me know how you feel about this. Maybe you got even some insight on how this manifestation plays out in your life. Whether you're moving away from someone, something, or you actually realize something you have to take a look at. Right? I'm very much interested in how this plays out in your life. Let me know. Cancer, I love you.